Ow. What happened? Ouch. Why does my head hurt? Where am I? Last time I checked, I was on the computer, and then I fell asleep. And come to think of it, I was playing Minecraft. Oh no. Don't tell me. Somehow, someway, I'm stuck in the world of Minecraft. You know, that would actually explain why everything looks like a cube. You have got to be kidding me. You know, these are some of the stupid cliches that you'd find in a very old movie or in an 80s cartoon. These things don't actually happen in real life, and if they do, it's extremely cliche. Oh, cruel fate. So let me guess. Now you want me to somehow escape this world, survive, beat the game, get back to my own world? Is that how this stupid cliche is going to go? Yeah, I thought so. Wait, what's on my head? Is it a video? Is that a camcorder? Who put a camcorder on my head? And how did I get here? Let me guess. You want me to actually make videos of my adventures, don't you? And show them off to people who might get stuck here after me. Great. Wonderful. Well, video making is something that I like to do, so not gonna complain that much. So for anyone who may be watching this in the future, welcome to the world of Minecraft. A world made of blocks and cubes of all shapes and sizes, and of all different types that can be used to destroy, create, and make anything that your imagination might desire. And of course, you're also meant to use these materials to survive. Now, we actually have an inventory. And if I can check that, you can see that I can craft, I can store things, and use them to my advantage, but we don't have anything yet. So I think now would be a good time to start breaking down some trees. And yes, you can break trees with your hand. This is definitely the world of Minecraft. Oh well. Now I want to just break down a single tree. Because after that, there's something I'd like to make, and this something will help us many, many times throughout our adventures. And that thing will be some wooden planks. And with 4 of these wooden planks, I can make a crafting table. Now, as you can see, earlier, I was only able to craft things in a 2x2 grid. But with the power of the crafting table, I have 9 spaces to craft things, and that's going to be plenty. That's all I'm really going to need. Going to need some sticks. Now, with these wooden materials and these sticks, I can put these things together like so and make a wooden pickaxe. These will help me mine things like stone and pretty much help me get a pretty nice base going. Now I want a little bit more wood, so I can put the sticks and the planks together like so, and make yet another tool for me, and that would be the wooden axe. This will help me to cut down trees a lot quicker. Because we only have until nightfall, so I really want to get a small shelter going before the sun comes down. Now if I put them together like that, I get a wooden shovel. This will help me dig up the land much quicker. And if, God forbid, I can't get everything done before nightfall, I have a sword to defend myself. I think these materials are going to be all that I'm going to need for the time being. And I think right down here would be a very, very nice place to set up base. Or set up a camp, so to speak. Ow! Yeah, don't do that. You never want to fall from too high of a height. Oh wow, look in there. I'm going to actually check that out in a few minutes, but right now I'd actually just like to grab some wood and get some dirt. Now you might be wondering why. Well, wood will help me make a sturdy home. And also it'll help me get a whole bunch of tools together. However, dirt is what I'm going to need to make my home out of for these first few nights, because I am going to tell you now, you are probably not going to have enough dirt or enough wood in the first day to actually make a respectable home. Dirt is much easier to gather. I'm just going to gather a little bit of wood. Not too much, but enough to get us through the night. Because when nightfall comes, oh boy, that's when things get interesting. Fortunately, it looks like we were blessed and we were put inside of a forest. So, plenty of trees and plenty of wood to gather. Because if you don't have wood starting out, you're pretty much screwed. At least we didn't spawn in a desert or an ocean or a mountain. Although I guess a mountain would be the easiest of those ones. Actually, no, even desert you could make a respectable home out of sand. I think I'm going to tear down this tree and then I'm going to get started with the landscaping and see if I can get some more dirt. Okay. Really should find, whoops. Now I really should figure out how much dirt I'm going to need. And I think about 64 blocks of dirt would be pretty sufficient. So just give me a minute here and I'll grab all that. And then I can start making a shelter for the night. Okay, I have about a stack and a half of dirt. That should be plenty for the night. And right here is what I wanted to grab next. Now we spawned in an area that looks like a forest near a ocean that's right next to a desert and possibly even near a mountainous region. So the terrain may not be that flat and it might be difficult to actually make a base, but we certainly have enough materials to get us through the night. And heck, maybe even get us through a couple of nights actually, before we really need to think about maybe moving location here. Now I want to get just enough stone so that I can make a few materials at night. As you can see in the sky, the sun is starting to set in the, I believe it's heading towards the east. Then again, I could have my directions mixed up and I will probably look like a fool. Some directional instinct I have. I think right here will be good for the time being to set up our house. Cow, could you move? Thank you. Now this house is going to be tiny, it's going to be cramped, and it won't be all that comfy. But for the time being, it's going to be a home. Until I can remodel it anyway. After that, then things will start looking nice and pretty. Oh boy. Before night falls, I want to get rid of this tree. Why do I want to get rid of this tree? Because I'm afraid a monster might climb on top of the tree and try to sneak into our house from the roof. And I have plans for the roof. So I don't want it in danger. Come to think of it, that tree might... All these trees could cause us some problems, honestly. Clear them out. Clear them out quickly. Now, if you take off the trunk of a tree, all the leaves will eventually start to disappear. However, if the leaves are connected to another tree, the leaves will think that they're actually a part of that tree and they won't disappear. So that's why you really want to just get rid of a lot of trees in the area. Oh my, it's going to be very, very cramped. Very, very blocked in. Oh, get out of here. Silly leaves. And there we go. We have the basis of our house. Okay, it's a good thing I brought more dirt along with me. And the basis of our house. And now, very quickly, I would like to make a roof. And here we go. We have our nice little dirt hut. Now, it's actually extremely dark in here. So I want to dig out a tiny little door. Actually, you know what? That's going to be a back door. The actual door will go right here. Towards the cave in the sand. And I want to dig out that block right there. And put my crafting table here, and that'll serve also as a part of our wall. But I can also get access to it. So it works for me. Now, so long as I have at least 6 wooden planks, I can put these together, and I can create a wooden door. And with this wooden door, no creature can get in without my permission. Now, there's also a reason I gathered all this cobble. If you put the cobblestone together, like so, you can have a furnace. And with the furnace, I'm going to put that right next to the crafting table. Conserve on dirt a little bit. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. It would help if I actually picked the right thing. You can put down your furnace, and you can cook things. There's one thing in particular that I actually would like to cook right now, and I'm going to use this one wooden plank to do it. Now you can use flammable things as fuel. Wood is flammable, so that's actually a pretty decent supply of fuel. But one thing in particular that I want is this, charcoal. Charcoal is your best supply of fuel for your furnace. And you can get it by burning the big blocks of wood. And you can even find just regular coal just lying around in caves or in the sides of mountains. It would have been nice if we actually could have found some coal before sundown, but sometimes we just don't get that lucky. Now there is one thing I'm a bit concerned about. And that is if a monster appears right in front of our door or near our door and tries to get in. So, what's usually best to do, from personal experience and from what I've learned, is to make something so that you can get on top of your roof and attack your enemy from above. Now, a lot of people, like to make their homes inside of mountains, but I prefer this method. Just because it's never let me down. It's actually pretty easy to do in a respectable amount of time. And you're usually pretty safe. At least you're safe enough to last the first few days. There's a cow up there. Actually, there don't seem to be too many. What was that over there? I might be a bit wrong about that. I was going to say that there don't seem to be any monsters out tonight and that we might be safe. That does not seem to be the case. 8 charcoal. That should be a pretty respectable amount. I'll burn up some more charcoal in just a few minutes. But real quick, I want to get some more wooden planks. About 8 of them will work. And I want to split these into 2 groups so I can get more sticks. 17 sticks, that's probably more than enough. And if I put the sticks together like this, and I put a piece of charcoal on top, I can get 8 torches. And this should be more than enough. Actually, real quick before I do that, I want to put the charcoal in here and start to burn up the birch wood. Because honestly, I never really find a need for that type of wood. Makes the wooden planks look all strange. With these these torches, I can put one over my door and we can light up the house. And if I light up the house, this looks very uneven. When it comes to Minecraft, I always like things to look pretty nice and pretty even. Very respectable. Come on. There we go. Sorry about that, I was concentrating on where I wanted to put those. And now, we can put some torches on top of our roof. And if I put torches on top of our roof, nothing will take us by surprise. Except maybe that spider in the water over there. He has me just a bit concerned, but as long as he's taking a little bit of a swim, I really don't mind. And there we go. This is pretty much your best way, and pretty much what you should do to survive your first day and night in the world of Minecraft. But we're not even close to being done. Not by a long shot. We just gotta worry about the monsters out there, and we need to ready ourselves for any attack. And we need to try and figure out how to get out of here. I mean, this place is nice and all, but... well, the movie said it best. There's really no place like home. So let's see if we can get out of here. And find our way home. Because I'll be honest, I kinda miss it. Oh well. At least it's a pretty night out.